Today, President Trump said more college students could be arrested across the country after an activist who led protests at Columbia was taken into custody by ICE agents.
This is the first publicly known effort to deport someone under Trump's promised crackdown on students protesting the war in Gaza. And it is bringing up some serious questions about First Amendment rights and freedom of speech. Tonight, there are dozens of people in Foley Square rallying in support of the activist who was arrested.
We have team coverage at 5. Tim McNicholas is reporting on the legality of this arrest. But first, let's go to Lisa Rozner live in Foley Square at that rally. Lisa.
Well, Jessica and Christine, first, I want to let you know that Khalil filed a petition in court today saying that his arrest was illegal. His lawyers arguing that this represents a repression of free speech, specifically when it comes to criticism of Israel. And what you are looking at behind me are protesters gathered calling for Khalil's release and also calling for ICE to be kept off campuses. Monday, some students wore shirts reading "Free Mahmoud Khalil," calling for the recent Columbia graduate student to be released from ICE custody. Professor Joseph Howley says he was not calling for violence or terrorism as alleged by President Trump.
I was horrified. Was really kind of someone who was, I think, working towards, resolution of conflict. He is a consummate diplomat. He's kind, he's generous, he's smart.
The green card holder of Palestinian descent was a mediator in last year's controversial encampment. He recently graduated from the School of International and Public Affairs in December.
This is a movement, an anti-war movement.
Khalil's lawyer says he was wrongly arrested Saturday night at his apartment inside a university-owned building, adding that ICE agents threatened to arrest his wife, a U.S. citizen who is 8 months pregnant. On Fox Business, the director of ICE was asked if Khalil can be deported.
Committing crimes, attacking Israeli students, locking down buildings, destroying property. Absolutely, any resident alien who commits a crime is eligible for deportation, and that's just one out of many.
President Trump posting on Truth Social in part, "We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity, and the Trump administration will not tolerate it."
Deportations are awful. I'll never support them. I was at the Milstein Library last Wednesday, and the things that they were handing out there were truly, truly heinous.
That student adding that he wishes the campus had taken more action and that it did not come to this. Now, coming up at 6 p.m., you will hear from two of Khalil's friends, as well as the message that the president of the school put out to the community today about free speech. We're live in Lower Manhattan. Lisa Rozner, CBS News, New York.
Lisa, thank you.
And now to the issue of First Amendment and immigration rights at this arrest has surfaced.
Investigative reporter Tim McNicholas walks us through exactly what the law says and what it doesn't say.
Free Mahmoud Khalil!
Protesters just outside Columbia University push back on the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's statement that Mahmoud Khalil led activities aligned to Hamas and was arrested in support of President Trump's executive orders prohibiting anti-Semitism.
Standing for Palestine is not a crime.
The Trump administration has not said which specific activities or protests they're referring to. New York law professor Nadine Strawson says the First Amendment offers wide protection from criminal prosecution for speech, even for non-citizens like Khalil.
Only when it reaches the point of intentionally inciting imminent violence does that become unprotected. That would be the bar that would clearly have to be satisfied if the government was seeking to impose some kind of criminal or civil penalty on them. Unfortunately, as I said, there is an ambiguity if what the government is seeking is deportation. There, the law is unclear.
After Khalil's arrest, Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted to X that the government will be revoking the visas and/or green cards of Hamas supporters. Legal experts say a green card can be revoked as part of a process that typically involves a criminal conviction or, in some cases, proof that the cardholder endorsed terrorism. The Trump administration has not yet announced any specific criminal charges against Khalil.
And obviously, that will be part of the debate where those lines are drawn between what is protected political speech and what then veers into into the territory of support and affiliation with terrorism.
We have seen increased security near campus throughout the day from both Columbia University Public Safety and the NYPD as police monitor protests in response to Khalil's arrest. In Morningside Heights, Tim McNicholas, CBS News, New York.
And on our website, you can find continuing coverage, including our reporting on the Trump administration's move last week to cancel millions of dollars in funding to Columbia. It's all at cbsnewyork.com.